All right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. So glad to be back with you all. For anybody new here, hi, I am Maggie. You may know me from my cooking channel. I make food and femininity content. And Lucy and I are the founders of the Finishing School for the Modern Woman, which is a privately taught 8-week course for ladies of all ages, and I'm very excited. We are counting down to reopening for enrollment August 1st. You all will be able to register for class starting September 1st, and we only teach it twice a year, so stay tuned for that. So, in addition to the course that we do and coaching and consults, we like to give back, and we do that by coming to you all twice a week with content from two older women with marriage and relationship experience. So, Lucy, please introduce yourself and let us know what are we talking about tonight.
Hi, I'm Lucy. Hi, Maggie. I have a channel. Most of the content right now is Spanish focused, but I'm sprinkling a little bit of topics about femininity, elegance, and things that impact women over a certain age. As Maggie has said before, I am 58. So it's women that have hit that age where your body starts changing and you start looking at life a little differently. But today we're going to take a look at the 6 things about men women need to know. And last week we talked about 1, 2, 3. One was women or men are easy to please. 2, men want to make us women happy. And 3, men do not like to argue or fight.
Absolutely. So we are going to pick off. We are reacting to this live. So as always, I have linked the video in the description if you all want to watch it without our commentary. It's not a long one, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So like Lucy said, these are 6 points. So if you're a woman who's interested in a relationship with a masculine man, hopefully these will be helpful for you. We will play them and then pause and give our commentary. And as always, love to know what you all think. So I'm going to share my screen. But who do we have coming in? We got the condemned man coming in. He's checking in from the gym, working out. That sounds amazing. Paulette Nelson is loving her life, and we are so glad that you all are here. Who do we have here? We have Tay Biz TV. He says, hello, Maggie and Luke Hazley. If you all missed it, I think I had a pretty nice, okay, it was kind of amazing. I went back and rewatched it myself because I don't even think it's that good in the moment when I'm talking, but I'm like, wow, I thought it was a great conversation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tay Biz TV is a content creator. We had a collab. It's up on his channel and it's up on my channel talking about the dating market and relationships. So thank you for stopping by. We got Vieta Marie and Leslie in the house. All right, everybody. So let me share my screen. So happy to see you all. And like Lucy said, she's 58. I'm 48. I'll be 49 in November and 50 next year. So we are two older women just giving our perspective. Hopefully it's helpful. All right, so let me mute myself and we are picking up with number 4.
Okay, number four, a man's identity is inextricably linked to his need and desire to provide and protect, which means if you are usurping his ability to do this, you're going to have problems in your marriage. And what I mean by that is it's not so much about who makes more, although that matters. It's more about how are you handling that money that you are making. And how are you handling the budget, assuming you even have one, together as a team? And if you are, for example, spending more than he's able to earn, or disagreeing with each other, or deciding on something and then not sticking to it, anything that's undermining his ability to provide is going to deflate him, and you're going to have marital problems. The number one most important thing you can do is let him stay in a position to be your hero and to be your provider, even if you earn money. And there are a lot of, little tricks to that. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but that's at the core of so many marital problems, is that the ability to provide and be their woman's hero has been completely stripped from them. And it's very hard for them to step in and overpower you, going back to that whole not, wanting you to be happy, not wanting to fight with you. And that's where things get very complicated. When he's in charge of his own, when he has agency over what he brings to the table, he's emboldened. And if that's stripped from him, he just sort of gives up. And that's when the marriage will start its descent. Number 5.
Everyone. So ladies, especially you professional ladies, my hand's going up to buckle up, buttercup. We need to unpack this one and talk about, I love it when Lucy says that men want to be our heroes. And it is so true. And this is Suzanne Venker. I mispronounced it last week, so apologies. Suzanne Venker. She is an author. And again, the video is down below. But I love what she said. Even for those of us who make money, we have to allow our men to be in a position where they are the provider in the marriage. It is imperative that a man feels like he has something to offer and that he is valuable. And the way that they provide for us is a big part of that. You all know I'm, a former wife, divorced, and I know this was something that I did not do well. And there's a clip of mine going viral on Instagram about adjusting our lifestyle to our man. And there's some trolls in the chat, talking about, oh yeah, so I'm supposed to give up all the things that I want. That's not it at all. I love when she said, even if you make money, when you're married, it's, in my opinion, it's the family money. But even if you do bring income, undermining him, basically belittling his ability, letting him know that what he can provide is not good enough. Your standard of living or whatever, the way you want to travel, the way you want to do whatever, he cannot give you what you need, not what you want, but what you need. I love that she said a man just kind of will kind of give up, because it's kind of like, what am I doing? What am I here for? So that's a huge one, ladies. So, if he's the provider and you don't work, this is an easy one. But if you do work, make sure that, he can feel like the leader as a provider in the relationship. What would you add, Lucy?
That's a good one, especially in this modern world that we're living in. Unfortunately, some women are in positions where they may as well, they pretty much run a company and they earn as much. And sometimes they bring that leadership style into the home and want to run their home just like, tell their husband, just like they tell their staff how things are run. And that's just not, it's just not a good way to run your home. I can't relate to it because I think that, as I've said before, on my previous marriage, my husband was 9 years older than me. So he was like already, because he was older, he brought in the wages and the finances. And on my second marriage, my husband he's 9 years older than me as well. So again, I do work and I bring an amount, but to him, that's nothing. He allows me to do whatever I want with that money because we have a home fund, and then we have those other things to have an account to have fun. So, and that we agreed on when we were first dating, and we were talking about how things were gonna go. So again, that's another part of why it's important to date and understand each other, to speak about how you feel about who's going to be the leader in the house. Hopefully you already have that mindset that your husband is going to be the one that leads in the home no matter what. Otherwise, we take, like Suzanne said, we take that agency from him. And I think I told Maggie the other day, when I hear men feel worthless, sometimes when you take that agency, I think about those men at the mall holding the the wife's purse, just sitting at at the mall, just sitting there waiting for them, just, waiting for life to pass by. So again, we need to allow our men to be the leaders in our lives, because that gives them that purpose to provide for us.
Absolutely. I always love to give you all some tangible things, and I'm going to give you all some tips that I should have done, and hopefully it's helpful. But let's see what you all are saying in the chat, because this one really hits home, and I am well aware the times that we live in, a lot of women work. So I want to make sure that we give realistic advice, if you will. We got C Hill in the house saying, "Hey, Maggie and Lucchese, I'm a new subscriber. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here." Taybiz TV says, "I've seen this video before and I'm loving your breakdowns. Thank you. And I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation and look forward to more combos anytime." Absolutely. I am here. Taybiz says, "Great point. Men are givers and we value the receiver's appreciation." That's a big word, ladies. Appreciation of what we give and how we give it. I don't care if you make 3 times as much as him. A man shows his love by giving, sacrificing, and providing. You need to appreciate that, or you won't have that man for long. The Condemned Man says, "So many women touting that 'I don't need a man' rhetoric. But if there's no need for us to be there, why would we stay? Why would we even come around? We're better off working and improving." All right, so lots of thoughts on this one. In my marriage, my ex-husband's 7 years older than me. And I think when I graduated from college, he was making more than me. And then I got a job. And in our marriage, and I've said this, I was always a nurturer, but I was one of those women who thought her professional accomplishments mattered more than they did. I thought the promotion, the successes, the advancement, all the wins in the work world carried weight in the relationship. Ladies, hear me and hear me well. They do not. Men don't marry us for that paper on the wall or the letters behind our name. You may have all that, but that's not what makes you a wife. So in our relationship, it was kind of like, he would make a little bit more, then I would make a little bit more, and he would make a little bit more. The problem is, and I am not saying there's anything wrong if you are a working wife, a lot of us work. If you make the same as, or even more, because in my second relationship with my man, when I grew up with him and we reconnected, I was making slightly more. But here's the key, ladies, and this is something that I failed to realize when I was in my 20s and 30s and had all that energy and all that gusto and wanted to be clicking my heels through those halls. Men are built for the long term. We are not. Argue me down if you want to. I had a meeting with a 55-year-old woman today, and the whole call, and we were supposed to be talking about work, she talked about her aches and pains and, how tired she is. And she just brings all this negative energy into work meetings. I don't know what to do with that. And I would challenge you all to find any older woman, 40, 45 plus, that you know in your family, in your workspace, that is just hitting the bricks as hard as she was 20 years before, or the men are. So this is something, and I will speak for myself, I was short-sighted because I didn't realize 10 years and 2 kids later, I put myself in a breadwinner position and I was miserable. I was eating poorly, snapping at the kids, stressed out, not sleeping well. So take it from an older woman who's had that experience. Even if you come out of college with those big jobs and those big degrees, that's great for you, but find a way to work with your husband, because I promise you, when you're 40 and 45 and 50, he's still going to be getting up at 6 a.m. and hitting it hard. And that amount that you kind of looked at like, that's it, you will be so grateful for his consistency and his work ethic. So there's lots of ways to do it. Lucy said they have a house fund, and then she has her, play money, and, he takes care of everything. You work that out in your own marriage. But I just wanted to share that, ladies, just realize that as we age, especially if you're a feminine woman, you don't want that pressure on your hips. That's on his shoulders. All right. C. Hill says, thanks so much. Y'all saw the interview? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let us move on. So that was number 4, allow your man to be the provider and show appreciation. All right, so let's go back in and see what number 5 is.
Your man will not come right out and tell you when he's unhappy. So you're going to have to read the signs. Men are action oriented. They're not going to come sit down and say, I want to talk. Let's talk about our marriage. I mean, that just does not happen. In fact, if you say that, he's going to brace himself for something he doesn't want to do. So he's not going to bring this to your attention, but he's going to act out in a way that's going to let you know what he's feeling. So you have to really know your husband or your man and really read him, read the signs, because his behaviors will show you if he's not happy. And then when he does, and I'm not saying he never would tell you, oftentimes men do tell their wives when they're unhappy, but they're not heard. And then they just give up. So because they speak so much less than we do, it's important that when they do speak, that you really hear them. Don't just dismiss it as a nothing, because it's very likely not a nothing. Number 6, last one, men respect.
All right, she's firing them out. All right, let's unpack this one. I see Charles D comment, and I just want to acknowledge him. He says, that's different. I've never heard a man talk about his aches and pains in a meeting. Ladies, it's true. And, I'm sorry, not sorry, but men are built to take the punishment. And I hate to even say that as a boy mom, but men know they have been raised from hopefully young childhood. Quit your crying, get back in the game. That's not good enough. Nobody wants to hear you complaining. Nobody cares how you feel. There's a job to be done. This is the drumbeat that men hear day in and day out. So they don't expect, thank you so much, Suave D, for the $10 as always. Men don't expect anyone to come rescue them. I had to redirect this woman that I work with multiple times in the conversation to get back to the task at hand, because I finally figured out she's looking for a pity party. I'm trying to be positive, and I'm like, okay, well, have a great rest of your day. Well, what I need is a pain pill or a sleeping pill or whatever. And, she said, man, this 55 is, harder than I thought. And, unfortunately, it sounds like what Kevin Samuels predicted. And Lucy and I have a connection to the late, great Kevin Samuels, but I really do think there are going to be a lot of, I hate to say it, but miserable and kind of bitter older women. And we don't want that to be you, because they didn't prioritize working with a man who at 55, men are still very healthy and strong and able to do a lot. So we talked about that one, ladies. So hopefully you can think a little bit more long term and put yourself in a better position. All right. She said, men are not going to complain, and they're not going to really talk about their feelings. Ladies, we are the emotional ones. Men are doers. Men are productive, especially if you have a masculine man. They are slaying dragons. They are knocking down doors and kicking in things and making changes in the world. That's just how men are. That's how they survive. So a lot of times we women want to sit and talk about how we feel about things, but to men, that's a waste of time because it's not achieving anything. So I love that she said that we have to study our men and study our husbands. This is part of what you're doing in the dating process, especially if you're dating with intention. That's why I have my rants about the purpose of dating is to determine if this is a suitable match for marriage or long term. So when you're spending time with a man, you're not just, oh, this is a great restaurant, or I bought this new dress, or, let me post on Instagram. You're reading the tea leaves, you're studying him, you're seeing what he likes and what he doesn't like, and how you can be helpful and useful to him to ease that burden so that he can do more. All of us who have long-term relationships, we know, or you should know, when your man is tired, when he wants silence, when he's upset about something, when he needs affection, when he needs anything. So as a wife, or as a woman who wants to be a wife, if you learn to anticipate his needs, and you're Johnny on the spot, and you're able to be that comfort to him, that is how you win. Because, I hate it for our men, but they will suffer in silence. And that's not what we want for them. So what would you add, Lucy?
That's so important when you said that men, from the minute that they are born till they die, that thing about you gotta be strong, you have to be there, you don't give up, and that is something that their parents tell them, their peers tell them, they hear it everywhere. They're not gonna put up a party because uh, like other men will say, we don't care. They will continue doing. They're going to pick up and go because you gotta do what needs to get done, and we're not here also to baby them. We're not here to be their mothers, because I can tell you, my husband, he will never tell me when he's in pain. And I think that I've shared with most of you that a couple of years ago he had a heart attack, and it took forever for him to say that he wasn't feeling well. If it wasn't that his color wasn't, he didn't have color, I wouldn't have known, because men do not complain. And when they do, you gotta pay attention, because when a man tells you something, they are telling you for a reason. I'm not gonna put my husband on that heart attack, but again, when he tells me something, he doesn't want to repeat it. He says it one time just to make sure I'm paying attention, and you get it done. That's it. Again, men do not complain. We are the ones that are the ones saying, can we talk? And men already know that it's going to be a feelings kind of things, that probably it's something that he said 10 years ago that you're going back into your mind, remembering, that is bugging you. So again, just when men say a specific thing, it's because they want to tell you once and never again. And yeah, like what Neil says, masculinity requires toughness.
Oh, that is so, so true. And I laugh, but ladies, the same thing happened to me with my man. I mean, both of our men are 50 plus, and, there's certain ailments that happen, and he had shingles, which, if you had chicken pox, you've got the virus. And so it's very common. My ex-husband went through it too. And he didn't tell me. And he was just like in so much pain. And you can watch them, and you can kind of see when they do something, when they kind of wince a little bit, and you're just kind of like, hey, what is going on here? And oh, I'm fine. And then finally, and that's what a good woman does, we gently like nag them to take care of themselves. But by the time he got to the doctor about it, apparently, well, now they have a vaccine for shingles, but apparently like there's an antiviral that you can take, but you have to take it in the beginning of whatever the course is. But he was already past the efficacy of whatever they were going to give him. So they were just like, at this point, you just have to tough it out. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, why? But I have so much respect for how masculine men just carry the burden. And this is, that clip of mine that went viral when I'm like, we women don't really understand and appreciate not only how much they work, but how much they suffer. And so that's why, like Lucy said, if you can study your man, if you can know, like my man not drinking enough water, all right, we're going to get the hydration going and just help him be the best version of himself. So we're going to move on to, I guess that was number 5. Let's see if y'all saying anything else in the chat. Hello, ladies. And they're saying on TikTok, Moni says, we did a lot of walking in Jamaica and my husband's feet were hurting, but he never complained. And I wonder who wanted to go to Jamaica. I'll leave it at that. So ladies, they put up with a lot of our don't travel with me because we will be doing something from morning to night. We did that one time and he was like, I'm not doing that again. I was like, okay. All right, so let's go to number 6, and then I'll drop the link. I'll go ahead and drop it in case anybody wants to chat with us, camera on or camera off. But let's see what else Suzanne has to say.
Respond to sweet talk and bottom lines. So the better way of putting that is, let's see, really, really sweet, really, really nice, really, really kind. Cute doesn't hurt either. Playful doesn't hurt either. But getting to the point as well. So the combination of being cute and fun and sweet and kind and getting to the point is hugely important. If you go on and on and on, you're going to lose him. Figure out what you want to say, write it out if you have to, come up with 1 or 2 sentences and get it out, and just end of story. Don't go on and on with it. He will hear you. The moment you start going on and on, you've lost him. Sweet talk and bottom lines. So there you go. 6 things. Number 1, men are easy to please and easy to please and quick to forgive. 2, men live to see the woman they love happy. 3, men don't like to fight with women. 4, a man's identity is inextricably linked to his need to provide and protect. Number 5, men don't come out and tell you when they're unhappy, so you have to read the signs. And number 6, men respond to sweet talk and bottom lines. So
All right, I may have to repeat those 6. So we're going to unpack this last one, sweet talk and bottom lines. But I'd love to know for any of the ladies in the chat and for the men too, you heard her rattle off the 6. Go ahead and put in the chat, ladies, which one you struggle with the most. And for the gentlemen, which one is paramount? Which one is the most important of her 6 to you? All right, sweet talk and bottom lines. Ladies, our communication is a huge opportunity when talking to a man. He is not our girlfriend. In most cases, hopefully he's your best friend, but he's not your bestie. He's not your permanent +1. He doesn't want all of the tea and the gossip from the water cooler at work and what you saw on your latest show and they just don't want it. So get over yourselves, me included. Here's one of the things I've had to do. When I want to talk to my man, I try to ask myself, so what? Meaning, after I do all this blabbering in my head, and I'm doing this in advance, I've worked really hard to think about what I'm going to say before I say it. I used to be one of those that just thinks as I speak, and we just eventually get there, but that is not useful. So now I will even pause sometimes and collect myself before speaking because I know I can go on and on. So I think about, I need to say all of these things. So what, Maggie? Okay, so the so what is, I have option 1 and option 2. I need a decision. Okay, so I lead with the so what. So when I approach my man, I say, hey, babe, first of all, is this a good time? Make sure he's full, make sure he's rested, all the stuff we've talked about. And then I lead with, I need to decide between driving to this event or flying. Can you help me make a decision? So he's listening for the problem to solve instead of getting lost in the minutia. And then we get to the end and I said all this stuff and I'm like, so what do you think? And he's like, I don't even know what you asked me. And this is something I've had to discipline myself and work on. So I lead with the question or what I'm asking for, and then I get right to the point. And then I ask him, let me know if you need any other detail. And we've talked about this before. One of the qualities I love about men is they are so decisive. We waffle back and forth. Ladies, don't even give me a menu. We'll be here all night. But I love how men are very decisive because they have to be. And then for me, If there isn't anything I need from him, if it's just information, I'll also say that, hey, babe, just letting you know. I've already taken care of this. I just wanted you to be aware. I don't want to blindside you. Something happened with the car, so I took it in. So just trying to lead with the so what has been helpful for me. All right. What would you add, Lucy?
That's a great point. The so what. I think a good reminder for me anytime I am, sometimes I get my feelings hurt, and I got to remember men are wired for action. Men are wired to take action. They're not wired to listen to all of the feelings that you have before you get to the point. Maybe you can get to the point and then you can say, you know what? I need to vent. Can you hear? But vent to your girlfriends for the most part. Men really do, they don't want to hear all that stuff because again, if we think about it, if we are really truthful to ourselves, if we look inward, all that stuff that we put in front of the main point is fillers. It's just stuff. So again, get to the point at the beginning. Sometimes you know what I do. It's so sad because he already knows me. Anytime I go and give him a hug and rub his back, he tells me, okay, so what do you need? Because he knows that once I do that, my need will come right away. But you know what? It falls softer and he loves it. And it's something that he knows that it's coming. But it's nothing that I'm going to say, I was thinking about these things and, all of these things that really he doesn't want to hear. He just wants to know, what do you need me to do at this point? That's that. And I think it works. I think it's, they're good because they don't have to be thinking about, okay, so is she going to get to the point? What does she need me to do at this point? So, and I can totally see my husband. Sometimes I do get into my talking mode. As an introvert, I'm not too much of a talker, but sometimes I get into it, especially when I'm tired. I start talking, like spending the entire rest of my energy on talking. And I can see his head going, oh my God, when is she going to get to the point? It's the funniest thing. Sometimes I do it on purpose just to test out when he's going to say, okay, what's the point? Okay, so what? But so again, men are action driven. We want to get to the point immediately. There's no need to tell them an incredible story because all they want to do is, how can I fix it for you?
Oh my goodness, that is so true. I want to see what you all are saying in the chat, but I'll give you my punchline. And I just got this feedback today. You like to be heard, don't you? And I was like, okay. I'll explain that in a moment. Wallace on the TikTok says the bottom line is the most important. We just want to know what needs to be handled. And I love that. And ladies, before you get your feelings hurt, Lucy and I are here to share with you, what we've done right, but also where we bump our heads sometimes, even as older women. So we're learning, we make mistakes, we get better, try not to repeat those mistakes. But I love when Lucy said, men love to be our heroes. And part of them being our heroes is that they solve problems for us. So set them up for success. Set your husband up for success. Give him the need to know information. Think Auntie Maggie said, so what? You've been having that conversation the whole way home when I can't believe my girlfriend and she wore the same dress I did and she knows this is my favorite. So what? Stop yourself and ask yourself the so what. And then if there's something you need from him, lead with that. And then, if he's feeling like talking like, babe, how was your day? Fine. But, do not waste their time. They want to be our heroes. Let's see what you all are saying in the chat. All right. We had a comment. I don't know if is that one we need to address, Lucy? I don't know.
Kea says, as men, if I had a problem, I would talk about it, but I wouldn't complain about it.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, men do not complain. And we love that. Ladies, if you're being honest, if you were around a man who complained about his aches and pains and how tired he was and that he needed to take a pain pill and 55 is hitting him hard, what would you think about that man? All right. We got Linda in the house, one of the alumna from the finishing school. So happy to see you here. All right. Rodney says the term acting out is bad for children. It is interesting hearing that term as it pertains to understanding an adult man. Oh, I think she said something in there about him either acting out or not acting out when a man is upset. Do you remember what Suzanne said, Lucy?
I don't remember.
Okay, no problem. I may replay number 6 just so we hear it, but let's see what else you all are saying. Taybiz TV says that bottom line is so real, but the patience of a man will endure because of his love and interest. This is so sweet. But ladies, don't take advantage of it. I love that. And this is a bigger point. So Taybiz is saying, yes, they want us to get to the point, but they will listen to our foolishness. But don't wear out your welcome, ladies. Save it for something that's really like you've got to hear this story. Um, but again, it just goes to the sacrifices that men make for the women that they love, that a lot of times we just blow past that and we just think, oh, yeah, well, he sat there the whole time. Do you even know that he was miserable and dying inside, waiting for you to get to the point? So showing appreciation and understanding that they put up with a lot of how we are. Again, I got told today, you like to be heard, don't you? Don't worry, story time is coming. Rodney says there are times when a man knows that he has to listen to his woman, but most often men want to know what needs to be fixed or done. Yes, men are problem solvers, ladies. Men are problem solvers. What about this one, Lucy?
Oh, that's me answering one of KS
I'm not paying
questions.
attention.
I said, everything is good. I hope you're taking care. I think you're taking time to relax or something like that.
Okay, my bad. Sorry about that. Hello, Felita. Rodney says, sweet talk is like sugar before the medicine goes down. Just a spoonful of sugar. Let's talk about that and then we'll get to my hurt feelings because I'm going to share with you all. Um, I love that. She included this in number 6, get to the point and sweet talk. And I think the sweet talk is part of the affection. And I don't know if it was in this series or we did another series, but men need affection from us, ladies. Yes, it was one of my fanning moments when we were talking about non-sexual affection, but the way that we communicate to men is so important. I had a group coaching before this and I'll share with you all. I've worked very hard on my speech because, like I said, I used to be louder, masculine, just bringing that, professional energy into the relationship. Nobody cares, right, Lucy? Nobody cares. But one of the ways that I try to show affection to my man is to have those sweet pet names. And when he calls me, I really try to turn it on and just kind of give him a little bit of, hello, handsome. It could be whatever you do, but I intentionally make it like this is special for you. So compliment your man, love him, love on him, have little sweet names for him, whatever ways that you show affection. We talked about that at length, where who else are they going to get it from? Let's see what else you all are saying. Smokey says, right on, Rodney. Mike Worthy says, we men are very much right to the point. We are hardwired to be proactive. Soft words from a woman can motivate us, ladies. Your femininity is your superpower. Please use it. I love that, love that, love that. And we've been saying that there's a lot of school of thought that thinks that the things that make us feminine make us weak, but it really is our strength if you embrace it and you're genuine with it, because men are naturally drawn to a feminine woman. They feel the need to protect her, care for her, and you can get so much more influence by being feminine, by being soft, by being sweet, than barking orders. hey, have it your way. If you think, kicking down doors and taking names is working for you, that's an option. But the men are telling you here, use your femininity. We got Gillis in the house. Smokey says, hi, ladies. Sorry you haven't tuned in for a while. We are here twice a week. No problem at all. Whenever you are available, here we are. All right. What about this one, Lucy?
As a man, I put effort to be strong mentally and physically.
Absolutely. Rodney says, are men proactive and women reactive? Generally, yes. So today I was complaining about something that continues to happen. So you all know these teenagers and their moods and attitudes. And I didn't realize this, but apparently I was given the daily report of what other offense I was feeling as a mom. And I was told, you like to be heard, don't you? And I was like, he was like, yeah, I just sit here and listen to you. I keep thinking, okay, what is it today? Same thing? All right, I'll wait. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that literally like really hurt my feelings. And so I had to like stop myself and say, do I just bring my burdens and complain about the same thing over and over? And I think the answer is yes. So I got the feedback. And again, ladies, men are going to give it to you straight. They're going to let you know, yeah, you've been talking about the same thing for a while. They're teenagers. That's what they do. You expected it to be different? Okay. So now I have that information. I can swallow the bitter pill and realize, okay, so he's really not trying to hear that. So I need to deal with whatever I'm feeling and not put that on him. So it could be the boss that you don't like. It could be your girlfriend that drives you crazy. Maybe you have a family member that's annoying. If you have something that you're constantly bringing to your man and it's not going to change, or you're not going to change, and this is just what it is, just know that men don't deal with that well because they work on what they can affect, and the things that they can't, they just kind of accept it. So take that as some painful feedback I got just today. All right, so let's go back and I'll just replay number 6. I'll drop the link in case anybody wants to chat, and then we'll listen to her wrap this up, and we'll let you all have your evening.
Don't just dismiss it as a nothing, because it's very likely not a nothing. Number 6, last one, men respond to sweet talk and bottom lines. So the better way of putting that is, let's see, really, really sweet, really, really nice, really, really kind. Cute doesn't hurt either. Playful doesn't hurt either. But getting to the point as well. So the combination of being cute and fun and sweet and kind and getting to the point is hugely important. If you go on and on and on, you're going to lose him. Figure out what you want to say, write it out if you have to, come up with 1 or 2 sentences and get it out, and just end of story. Don't go on and on with it. He will hear you. The moment you start going on and on, you've lost him. Sweet talk and bottom lines. So there you go. 6 things. Number 1, men are easy to please and easy to please and quick to forgive. 2, men live to see the woman they love happy. 3, men don't like to fight with women. 4, a man's identity is inextricably linked to his need to provide and protect. Number 5, men don't come out and tell you when they're unhappy, so you have to read the signs. And number 6, men respond to sweet talk and bottom lines. So as much as you can focus your energies on those 6 things, I promise you, your relationship will improve exponentially and overnight.
So I'm thinking the acting out might have been in number 5 when she was talking about the pain. Should I just repeat number 5, or was there anything? She's saying don't beat around the bush. What do you think, Lucy? Okay, let me rewind back to number 5.
You have to find out the acting out part.
Okay.
Because I don't remember it at all.
When he's in charge of his own, when he has agency over what he brings to the table, he's emboldened. And if that's stripped from him, he just sort of gives up. And that's when the marriage will start its descent. Number 5, your man will not come right out and tell you when he's unhappy. So you're going to have to read the signs. Men are action oriented. They're not going to come sit down and say, I want to talk. Let's talk about our marriage. I mean, that just does not happen. In fact, if you say that, he's going to brace himself for something he doesn't want to do. So he's not going to bring this to your attention, but he's going to act out in a way that's going to let you know what he's feeling. So you have to really know your husband or your man and really read him, read the signs, because his behaviors will show you if he's not happy.
All right, I got it. So yes, so I would love to know for the ladies in the chat, how do you know when your man is not happy? So Rodney brought up the comment about acting out. I think anything that is different from the norm is a man acting out. And she doesn't mean that we know how kids act out and they act out for attention. I think it's the opposite with men. I think men start to shut down or withdraw. I'll speak for myself. I noticed this in my marriage. They'll just kind of go to their cave. Don't bother them. They don't want to talk about it right now. And ladies, do not be that woman that chases behind them. No, you're going to listen to me. That is the absolute worst thing that you can do. And even in my relationship now, I work really hard. I don't get in trouble much, but if he is upset with me, there's a little bit of a cool breeze in the air. And what's usually warm and welcoming, it's like, hello, hello. But I know to give him time and he will come back around. But what's so important is that, ladies, you have to know what his regular routine is so you can notice if he's deviating from it. So many women are just so caught up in themselves that are oblivious to not only what's happening around them, but the way that your man moves. How's his appetite? How's he sleeping? How's he communicating? How is his schedule? Do you know anything about him so you can tell if something is different? So that's what I would say. What would you add, Lucy?
I absolutely agree. Men are beings they have a routine and they do everything over and over again. Once that routine starts changing, that should be a little red flag of something is happening that's making him change that routine. And that should be something that catches your attention, and start looking to see if you have done things that are probably not to his taste, and he has mentioned it to you once, he has mentioned it to you twice, and then he's given up. So now he's going to take a different approach to making himself be okay with his life. So again, just be careful. If his routine, his behavior starts changing, that should be a pretty good red flag that he's not happy about something.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see what you all are saying in the chat. Kaya says, she is saying, don't beat around the bush. Get to the point, ladies. We have Kinjabu Roger says, you're absolutely right. I've been dating my girlfriend who is about to be my fiance and wife in September. Congratulations. She's so feminine, tender, sweet, warm, and respectful of me. I feel like I am the only man alive. Oh, I love love. That is so beautiful. Ladies, look, someone got promoted to wife, and look how. I love it. Love, love, love it. Congratulations. Yes, shout out to the dogs. Did I miss the dogs? They're always here in the background. Rodney says, it is really hard to provide for a finicky woman. Men feel defended when he can't solve a situation underlying her feelings. Yeah, they don't want to have to spend time to unravel all your thoughts, ladies. Get to the point. Vieta says his behavior, not bad behavior, but dismissive. Was there a part 1 to this? Did I miss something, Lucy? Because I don't know about that one. And Next Level says men have made the world so safe that women can walk around clueless. It's true, ladies. We don't realize how comfortable things are just without us even having to lift a finger. I did a collab with Tabiz. I did a collab with Kaz TV before, and Zach said something that just blew my mind because, of course, I don't think about it. Now, I am not the nature person. Those of y'all who like nature, you'll hopefully appreciate this. But he said that his girlfriend or wife or somebody has a friend that likes to go hiking and likes to do these like nature walks and all of that. That's great. But she's always taking these pictures when she's arrived at whatever mountain peak or state park or whatever, like she's on top of the world, saying she's conquering the world, and just look at me, I've done this amazing nature walk. But he said, what you don't understand is that the men have come before and made it safe for you. There was wilderness, there was brush, there was wild animals. Now we have these walking trails, you have these paths, there's rest areas, there's picnic benches. They clear the area so you can see the beautiful horizon. And I was thinking, you know what? I never thought about that. These state parks in different places didn't just make themselves. There is this lack of awareness of what it could really be like and what it used to be like when women really realized how much we do need our men. So again, do what works for you. But I think just appreciation for who men are and what they do and how thankless sometimes their life can be. You can really make a place in a man's mind and heart when you make him feel like he is the only man alive. I love that. What would you add, Lucy?
And that's the greatest feeling, to know that your man loves you because you provide that environment to make him feel like he's the only man alive. You want your husband and your significant other to want to come home to his little cocoon, to his little, family cave, to his world. Again, it's so important what he said, and she's such a lucky girl. I can't wait for September to be here. So, I mean, hopefully she doesn't know yet, or she doesn't watch this, so she won't know that if it's a surprise. But that's going to be amazing. That's so good to hear that there are still women that understand the level of respect that our men deserve. And Next Level, thank you so much. Thank you. You ladies carry this content with class and dignity, and I love it that you're keeping the name and work of Kevin Samuels alive, of course. Yes.
Absolutely. He is gone, but his message lives on. And thank you for the super chat. And thank you for the kind words. You are our stream sponsor. I'll close with this. I did a consult or a group coaching right before this, and I told the lady in the group something that, especially since we have someone who's getting ready to get married. And ladies, this is huge because let's face it, there's so much talk about why men aren't getting married anymore, the dating market. You all have heard how difficult it is. So I think it says a lot. Men are not just marrying because it's the right thing to do. They're really taking their time and they're vetting if this woman is worthy of being the feminine asset to their masculine brand. Every man wants his first lady. So if you want a relationship with a masculine man, what I shared earlier, what I realized is that men don't fall in love with us. Men fall in love with how they feel about themselves when they are with us. So when I see this comment from Rogers, who says, I feel like I'm the only man alive. I was talking to a woman who's anxious and I would say clingy. And I said, you want to fall back and pump the brakes, because I got a very sweet text from my man today. And it was just something about, I'm loving you more and more, or I've fallen in love with you again. And, it was just very sweet. But when I think about it, the light bulb that went off for me, ladies, it's when they are alone in their quiet time and they miss us and they realize how much we mean to them, how much we bring peace to them, how much life is easy and sweet and caring and affectionate and respectful when we are with them. That's when they have that, I think I love her. I think I want to marry her. It doesn't happen because you try to wrestle him to the ground or force your will on him or nag him to death or say, are we there yet? Are we there yet? So I would just encourage ladies, if you want to be the last one standing, if you want to be the missus, listen to what the men are saying. Listen to the women who have the types of relationships that you want and try to improve in the areas that you are lacking. Maybe you need to limit your words. I still can't get over that word quota. Maybe you need to study your man. Don't just think, well, he didn't say anything, so everything is all right. No, watch him, learn him, and see how you can help improve his day and life. Lucy, what would you say to close us out?
I think this was a great um, episode because she gave us tangible things that we need to be paying attention to if we want to have a successful relationship. Again, men are amazing, and they're amazingly simple, not in a bad way, but they just want just a few things from us. And for us to be arguing around social media in the world about what men are and they aren't, really, they're not that hard to understand. They are not. We just have to make sure that we listen to them, we watch them, we study them, and and treat them with the level of respect that they deserve, because they have created this world for us.
I couldn't say it better. All right, let's see what you all are saying, and then we will close it out. Again, thank you, Next Level, for the $20 super chat. Lucy, do I need to address this one?
Kaya says we need to understand the past to get to the present.
Absolutely. Rodney O says, the more a man is truly appreciated by his wife or woman, the more he is willing to sacrifice for her and his children. Yes. Excuse me, ladies, I think we really miss this one. If you think about, and like you watch those old movies, those old period pieces, what kept men willing to fight another day at war? How many times would you see them like remember or look back in their wallet or whatever when they know that they have a woman who is devoted to him? And I know we're not in wartime, but it gives them, that shot in the arm to go out there and tackle the world again. So you absolutely have that superpower with your femininity. Hello, Taurus is here. Good evening to you. Rodney says the soft things of femininity are craved by the most masculine of men, because our existence is so tough and hard. I love this, ladies. And again, if you take some time to really think about the men that you admire, you probably wouldn't want to trade places with them. I know I don't. But if you think about their life being difficult, every day they got a problem to solve. Somebody needs something from them. Someone's got their hand out. Someone's got, a complaint. Someone's got a project for them. There's things to be built. Like this is the everyday life of a man. So if you can make, like Lucy said, their little cocoon, their time with you. That's what I told my consul earlier today. I make sure that every interaction with my man is a pleasant one so that he can go back out there, slay. And then when he comes back, he looks forward to it because I got a lot of problems, but not here. And yes, Next Level says, read the room. I'm so glad this was helpful for you all. Sincerely says, these live streams add so much value to me, to my life. Thank you, ladies, for helping me grow. That just warms my heart. So happy. Smokey says, quick to listen, slow to speak, turns away anger and frustration. Absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, again, the episode is in the description. 6 things about men that women need to know. This was part 2. We covered 4 through 6. You can go on my channel or Lucy's channel and get the first half, 1 through 3. So stay tuned. Like I said, we've got some new things coming up for you guys. A little bit of a schedule change. We're going to open up registration for the finishing school in August. So a lot of good stuff coming. So stay tuned to my channel or Lucy's channel. And until then, we will see you all next time. Adios.